guys, welcome to the video. Today I'm going to be doing a read aloud devotional with a Sharpie that I stole from my church by accident. It'll be fine. So the way that I do my devotionals, I usually cover like what it says, but I never really read it out loud. I might get copyrighted, I might get taken down, but I'm gonna read aloud what it says today. I have so much stuff on my desk, it's a mess. Alright. I want it to stay, but I don't want you guys to see the mess. Alright, whatever. You know what, it's just gonna fall or whatever. So the first one I'm gonna do is the Stop the Spiral. And I am on day 17 right now. No, day 18, which is fearing God. So I'm gonna read it out loud, and I'm just gonna cover what I think about it. When God's word tells us, "Do not fear anything in this world," it is because God has us. It is because nothing is going to come against us, not even the enemy, without God's permission. God has in his hand every circumstance you face. God understands the spirals, the fears you're feeling, the doubts you're experiencing. He understands about all of it, and he's powerful over it. We cannot completely guard our lives from the bad things happening. That's not possible. That's not the goal in this world. We will have trouble, God says. Bad things have happened to godly people and will continue to do so until Jesus comes back. But the reality of the wrong and terrible world doesn't mean that we have to live in fear. A life of fear is not what Jesus died for. He gave up his own life so that we can be free from fear. Of course, when we live in a fallen world, we will wrestle with real fears. But in the face of those fears, we remember that we have eternal hope. That's what Luke is talking about in today's verse. He doesn't diminish the enemy or his fear tactics, but he does say, don't be afraid of death. Don't be afraid of sickness. Don't be afraid of suffering here. If you're going to be afraid of something, be afraid of the one who can send you to hell. He's saying, make sure eternity is secure. The only lasting thing that can be taken away from you is eternity. Eternity can be redeemed, but it can be used for good. It can be worked into this eternal story, but make sure God is in his right place. Fearing God is respecting his power. And as A.W. Tozer, I think it's Tozer, maybe, says, once we have God in his rightful place, 1,000 problems are solved all at once. When God is in his right place, our fear shifts from life-sucking fear of the world to life-giving fear of God. This is the fear that makes us free. So, with this devotional, the main message that it's really saying is that whenever we actually put God in his right place, and we don't shove him into some other box or some other thing, I want God to be in control of my life in these aspects, but in these aspects, I'd rather not have God there. That's not good. What they're saying is that we need to have God in every single aspect of our life, because whenever we have God in every single aspect, in every single box in our life, we have nothing to fear. So that's pretty cool. And the next one I'm doing is Jesus Calling. So today is March 12th, I think. Okay. So this one is written it's God speaking to you, so I'm gonna sound really weird reading this, but whatever. Okay. Waiting, trusting, and hoping are intricately connected, like golden strands interwoven to form a strong chain. Trusting is the central strand because it is the response from my children that I desire the most. Waiting and hoping embellish the central strand and strengthen the chain that connects you to me. Waiting for me to work with your eyes on me is evidence that you really do trust me. If you mouth the words, "I trust you," while anxiously trying to make things go your way, your words ring hollow. Hoping is future directed, connecting you to your inheritance in heaven. However, the benefits of hope fall fully on you in the present. Because you are mine, you don't just pass time in your waiting. You can wait expectantly in hopeful trust. Keep your antenna out to this is antenna in quotes out to pick up even the faintest glimmer of my presence. And the verses today are John 14:1. Do not let your hearts be troubled. Trust in God. Also trust in me. Or I think that's Jesus. It's trust in God. Trust in Jesus. Psalm 27:14. Wait for the Lord. Be strong and take heart and wait for the Lord. And a super long one, which is Hebrews 6:18 through 20. God did this so that two unchangeable things in which it is impossible for God to lie, who we have fled to take hold of the hope offered to us. I'm really bad at reading out loud. May be greatly encouraged. We have this hope as an anchor for the soul, firm and secure. It enters the inner sanctuary behind the curtain, where Jesus, who went before us, has entered on our behalf. He has become a high priest forever in the order of Melchizedek. Okay, that's a crazy name. So the verses today and then everything today was you have to wait, you have to trust, and you have to hope. And without one or the other, it's not as your faith isn't as strong. It's waiting without trust is okay, why am I waiting? And trusting without hoping is why am I trusting? What am I trusting God for? It's those are all intertwined. And today's devotional was really just speaking about how we have to have faith in all of those things. We have to wait, trust, and hope, so we can show God that we have faith. So those are the devotionals for today. I guess I'll just kind of talk about what I'm going through today. So I really need to have ignore my foot. I need to have a lot of faith in God to get me through these few days, because it's coming up on the day that would be me and my ex's anniversary. And today it's been a month since I've spoken to him. So I need to have faith in God, because I'm having a lot of heartbreak, anxiety, and everything. A little bit of anger, jealousy, because he gets to live his fun life and do tournaments and everything, like speech and debate, and I don't, because if I saw him, I'd throw up on the floor and probably projectile vomit into his face. It's just not fun, but I know I can get through it, and it would be nice if you guys could keep me in your prayers. So, yeah. That's kind of my short vlog for today, because I'm not feeling my best. But hope you guys have a good day. Hope you guys can get through anything that's coming your way. I'll be praying for everybody who's watching my videos. And yeah. Bye, y'all.